am Hunter. Well, we made it to Atlanta so far and finally met up with John and Andrew Stanley. They are the Master Mentor winners from 2014. We're all headed to Africa. That's the good news. The bad news is there's 15 hours of airtime between right here and landing in Johannesburg.
I started texting Lawrence about a month before we ever left, and so when we landed in Polokwane and he's standing there, I knew what he looked like, I knew how he was going to be, and that meant the world to me, because when you travel halfway across the world, having someone like that waiting for me was a complete stress reliever.
I think it's great to get into contact with each other. We exchanged a couple of emails, and when we met, it felt like, you know, we already knew each other for a while.
So as I was preparing to hunt Africa, I wasn't quite sure how to feel. Now, everybody I spoke to, and I mean everybody, says, once you go to Africa, you have to come back. And when that many people say that same exact thing, and I mean word for word, you know, you have to believe them. But I still didn't understand it. We got into camp a little bit too late to hunt, sighted in the rifles, and just went for a bit of a scenic drive. And we climbed on top of that first kopje and saw the sun setting right then, and I mean immediately right then, I felt it. There's something special about Africa.
Heading into this trip, I put immense pressure on myself because A, it was my first African adventure, but on top of that, I had the rare privilege of going with John and Andrew Stanley. Now, John and Andrew had entered the Master Mentor contest we held in 2014.
I got an email, a newsletter about North American Hunter Master Mentor contest, and I told Andrew about it, and he said, yeah, Dad, I'll take it from here.
I decided to enter the Master Mentor contest because I just thought it'd be a great way for me and my dad to share a great experience.
To break down the program very, very simply, the guys had to submit a couple photos, had to submit an essay, and the Master Mentor had to be nominated. So in this situation, John's son, Andrew, got a hold of this information, sent in an essay about what his dad had done as far as mentoring people and all that kind of stuff. The editors and I at North American Hunter weeded through that entire list and got it down to 5.
And it was all about votes from that point, and we were just blessed that we had enough friends and family who voted for us and who cared about you know, sending us to Africa.
And you know, you never think you're gonna win something like that, but when I found out we won, it was just overwhelming, and I'm very, very glad that I entered.
So we're getting ready to go out on our first hunt this morning, and hopefully just get into a lot of game. It's time for the real deal to begin. Very excited.
The first day of any hunt is always the most exciting and the most stressful. Of course, you know, it's the most exciting. It's day number 1. You don't know what's going to happen. You've got the entire hunt in front of you. The waterbuck is the perfect, well, for me anyway, is the perfect animal to start this trip off with.
We came up on this group of waterbuck, and we immediately saw this big bull, and I mean, he just stood out of the rest. You know, he was magnificent and with good horn length, and it was just something special. And we were set on getting the specific one, so in the end, getting up on the stalk and just trying to get up on them every time proved to be a little bit difficult.
Well, those are Impala, right?
Impala, yeah.
Another wildebeest.
That's a calf. Do you see that calf?
I do.
Young, eh? Very young. Fresh. Let's go, let's go. I want to put them back there.
Good. Let's get down and we'll inspect them.
Okay, the thing about the waterbuck is they tend to be quite territorial. Being able to get these guys, you have to be up early in those spots and just get them where they're still going out of those areas. Because let me tell you, tracking them through thick brush can prove difficult.
I'm whispering simply because there's a waterbuck close, and I know he's close because we spotted him on the way in. The interesting thing about Africa is I think everybody who's never been here before, like myself, gets an idea about what they want to shoot based on pictures. Waterbuck was not an animal I was really crazy about until I saw one. So we're on the stock. We busted him twice, but we're going to stick with him, and hopefully it'll work out. So try and keep up, huh? Welcome to morning number 1 in Africa. And I'm whispering simply because there's a waterbuck close, and I know he's close because we spotted him on the way in.
Okay, the thing about the waterbuck is they tend to be quite territorial.
So game plan for morning number one was to get on this specific waterbuck. He stood out above the crowd, head and shoulders. He had at least another couple inches compared to the next biggest one. So we wanted him, we focused on him, and that's how we spent the entire first day.
Two good things going for us. A, waterbuck are pretty much home bodies. I mean, they've been figure eighting back and forth, not going more than, I would say a half-mile square area. And number two, when you got a good tracker like we do at Douglas, I mean, we'll just skirt around downwind and cut back until we get their tracks, and we'll get on them again. And if we end up bumping them like we did 2 or 3 times, you know, you just skirt around downwind, cut their tracks, and get back on them again. As we got into position, I put the gun on the sticks for the first time. We're waiting for the waterbuck to cross this little 2-track road. My heart was screaming. I lost him. We're gonna hang it up on the waterbuck for now. We've pushed him far enough and just can't seem to get in front of him. Rather than risk running him way out of the county, we were just gonna completely give it a break and go find something else.
So after a dead hunt in the morning, well, not literally dead, but after a long, hard hunt in the morning, we came back, had lunch, a couple of other animals went down in camp. It was awesome to see. I am slightly jealous, and I haven't heard the story yet, so tell me how you got this to right here.
So this afternoon we were just riding down the road, and my dad actually spotted him. And so we went out, stalked him, and I actually missed one on the first shot, but luckily they didn't run too far, and I was able to catch back up to him. And then the second shot was a perfect right behind the shoulder. He ran about 40 yards and fell, and here we are now.
And if I understand it correctly, you shot him with a pretty special gun too.
I did. It was my grandfather's rifle, who was handed down to my dad, who was handed out to me, so it meant a lot using that gun to shoot this animal.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I
Really
think
appreciate it.
As do I. And this officially makes it your dad's turn, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It does.
Well done. So day number one's officially in the books, and it's been a great day. I've seen more game animals today than I've seen in almost my entire hunting career. They are everywhere here at the Moroy Conservancy. We got super close to a waterbuck today, a big waterbuck, and I can't tell you how much I want to wrap my hands around his horns too. So it's day number 1 of 6, plenty of time, keep myself calm, and the next one's gonna be mine. So day number 2 rolls around, and after seeing a waterbuck the first evening, not getting a shot at him, so we went exactly to where we had seen him the past 2 evenings, set up, and of course, there he is standing high and mighty on top of this dam wall. It was a beautiful sight.
We came up on this group of waterbuck, and we immediately saw this big bull, and I mean, he just stood out of the rest. You know, he was magnificent and with good horn length. It was just something special.
The wind was blowing, that gave us a better advantage for the stock. We slipped in around the side, got into 250 yards. I was super comfortable at 250 with that 270. We literally cannot get any closer. There's nothing we can do. The true gift is that they hung out on top of that dam wall for quite a while. They stood up there almost confused. I settled in, and once that bull finally separated from the cows, I took a deep breath and let that shot go.
That's it, reload, reload. Got him. He's down.
First African animal, a giant waterbuck.
Bonus.
8,000 miles, first animal down, waterbuck.
Putting my hands on my first African animal is an experience I still can't put words to.
Beautiful animal. Just look at the thick bases right there. That was something special, bringing down such a magnificent animal.
Lawrence, day number 2, kill number 1, and we're just getting started.
Definitely.
Awesome.
One of my biggest concerns, and this really was at the forefront of my mind traveling those 15 hours in the plane from Atlanta to Joburg, was how sporting was this going to be? You know, Africa is completely different from the States, and I was worried that, you know, is this going to be a show up and shoot mission? Are they going to be very wary? I didn't really know what to expect.
Ooh. Luke, let's set up this copy and just blast from there for a while.
Okay.
Might see something.
Yeah. Go check Kudu Bull.
Uh-huh. Okay, switch off.
Thank you, sir. So with Mission Waterbuck behind us, Lawrence thought it would be best to climb on top of a kopje where a lot of midday activity generally takes place and just go up and have a look. The view up there is so spectacular. The advantage point for a shooter is so spectacular.
The most surprising thing about the hunt would definitely be the toughness of it. You see on TV people make it look easy, but it's really not that way, and it's really been a nice surprise how tough the hunt has been.
So we climb up on top of this kopje just to have a look. And like usual, we hang out there about 15, 20 minutes.
And when we were about to go down, I heard the snorting of a couple of impala. And we tried finding them through the binos, but we couldn't see them.
And Lawrence says, there's some wildebeest. They look like rocks. I'm like, I thought those are rocks. He goes, no, those are the wildebeest.
And there was a good bull.
I got prone, picked a little opening, and it was like a gift. They came and they all stood right in this little opening, and the bull came right to the front and almost posed.
I ranged it again, and it was around 300 yards, and he was comfortable with the distance.
Lawrence said, he's a good bull. If you're comfortable with the shot, it's clear, take it, let out another deep breath, boom.
You got him? He's down.
That is a 300-yard shot on a wildebeest.
We scurried down the rocks about as quickly as I dared with that rifle to not land on my head and bust up the scope and do all that kind of stuff. Get down there, the bull did not go hardly 60 yards and he was down. It's a stunning animal, and to take him in such a manner where, you know, we had the advantage from the start, it was a true gift and one that I am truly appreciative of. And it is a true hunting experience.
I will definitely be coming back to Maroy. People say that once you come once that you're going to come back again, and that's definitely been proven this trip. Being my first time, I didn't really know what to expect, but overall this trip has just been amazing.
It was so different than anything we do back in the States. The terrain was different. Climbing the kopjes, that was something I never expected. It was a very tough hunt, and just beautiful scenery.
And I think anybody who's willing and able to say, you know what, Africa is not the United States, it's completely different. Look at it from that angle. Take the gear you've got for hunting in the United States, take it to Africa, you can have yourself the trip of a lifetime.